Okay, I have some great news. Voting is open for our first phase of ships. Round 1 voting for Courageous is live in the link to this video. If you just scroll down and check the description, the link is in there. That will take you to the page that you're seeing on my screen right now. In here we have 7 voting brackets for all of the different Courageous submissions that we went through in the live stream, and I'd like you to go through and just vote for your favorite in each bracket. The 7 winners of that will go through to one more round of voting, and then the ship that wins that vote will be the one that replaces the Courageous in my campaign. And we're going to have to do this for the Ballistic, for the Slogger, etc., because we've had so many submissions. It's the only fair way to give them as much of a showing as possible. Just very quickly going through the brackets. Bracket 1 here has the Tiny Tim, which has the R3 ballistic missiles, the Fang, which is very cute, the Cozy Crab, which gets big points for me for being a crab ship, the Courageous Mark II, which I think is a great redesign, the Invader, which has 2 AK-100s, the Otter, which is a very fast little ship, and the Cabin, which I'll show you in a second. I've got a little extra at the end of this video to show you the ship because I didn't make it into the rest of the voting. You'll notice that all of these ships have a timestamp next to their name. I've actually linked the live stream in the description of this vote, and I have timestamped every single ship in that live stream. If you just check the description, you can see all the timestamps, and you can just click on the number next to the ship to go and have a look at that ship. So you need to go here and find the ship in the list. It couldn't be any easier if you want to have a quick look at it. Bracket 2 has the Cenotaph by Corazon Ray, that's a little aircraft carrier. We've got the Sparrow by DBHM, that's a really nifty little asymmetrical ship. The AX3 Courageous, which has the 80mm gun. The D119 Engineer, which has the RD59 engine. The Fencer by the Supreme Patriarch, which has some pretty nice speed to it. The Beloved, which I just think is a great looking ship, and it also has the 80mm gun. And the Bullet Mark II, which is very fast and has the AK-100. Bracket 3, you're looking at the Ant by Cadmium, which is a really nice little ship with, it has the left zenith, which caused a lot of controversy in chat during the stream. We've got the Lop here, which is a very small, very light Courageous replacement with a little bit of spaced armoring. We've got the Reckless, which has all of the missiles. It's basically a mini flower. We've got the Cricket by Orange Elephant, which is just a fast AK-100 boat. There's the Amber here, which is a really nice, tall, thin ship with a really nice amount of speed on an AK-100. There's the Sentry here, which has an AK-100 and I believe that's an IRS-T on top, but I can't remember. So that's a good one to check out if you go to the link and check that out in the live stream. In bracket 4, we've got the Ghost, which also carries 2 Zeniths and an AK-100. I think it's quite fast. The Fastball here, which is a, I think, 600 km/h ship that carries an AK-100, an A-100 interception missile and an infrared scanner. It's a pretty scary concept for a Courageous replacement. The Expendable here has 4 Zeniths and a 57mm Vermpole. The Cockroach here, don't underestimate this ship. That has 2 Vermpoles and a Courageous chassis that can do a lot of damage over time. The Sheriff here has a Vermpole, and I think it has bombs as well. Yeah, it has bombs under its wings. The Caddisfly here is a very fast version of the 180mm Courageous, don't sleep on that one either. And the Hobo, which looks like a plane from above, and I think it's designed to be flown like a plane, with the 2 forward-facing Zeniths, the very high speed, and the tail gun. Cool ship. Bracket 5, we've got the Mazinia by Greywood's Adventurer. This is an experiment in space and armor design. We've got my cat is looking for dinner, that's what that noise was. The Mayfly here from Orange Elephant with the AK-100, and it has a scanner as well. The Valnus by Shieldbearer is another example of a space armor design with a 37mm, I think, so it's quite light on weapons. The Weevil by Orange Elephant here is a mini flower. It has 4 Zeniths and it has a 57mm. The Courageous 1A by Kipco is a pretty speedy and blocky Courageous rebuild with an AK-100. The Robin by Balzos Korma here has a 57mm and another example of spaced armor. I randomized the layout, which brackets everything's going into, which ended up with 3 spaced armor designs in bracket 5. And then there's the Chrysanthemum by NC Mixum, which has the 257mm. Don't worry, Pet, I'll feed you in a second. Bracket 6 has the very cool sideways built Valiant, which looks like a sci-fi ship. I really like that. It has the sprints and the fire control radar, which is quite a lot to find on a Courageous. We've got the Slomzig Courageous, which has 257mm. Unfortunately, the bridge is a little bit exposed on that one, but it's still quite a nice build. We've got the Mosquito here by Tokyo, which is another really good ship. With some spaced armor. I'll be interested to see how this one survives when it comes through. The Cockatoo is actually a really nice ship here as well. That's by Tacos. It's got lots of armor. It's got a cool shape. I really like that. The Horseman here by Dyna. That has 2 A100s and a tracking radar to bring them in. That's a very scary ship. The Salamander here is another example of a shape design exploration. I think it only has a 37mm gun. The Baco here is a cursed design using unknown building techniques to incorporate sprints into its design and a tracking radar as well as a AK-100. It may look a little bit messy, but there's actually a lot going on in that ship. And then finally, bracket 7 has the Poltroon, which is an AK-100 armored courageous version. The Termite, which is a really cool legged double 57mm courageous. The courageous IRST, which is all about the it's got zeniths, it's got infrared scanners, and it's got bombs. And my dog is now making a lot of noise as well. We've got the Staghound T here, which also has AK-100s, and it's just another nice design. We've got the Mycena here, which is a cool ship that uses an RD-59 engine as an AK-100, just a different setup. It actually has an RD-59 and a static large ship engine as well, which is pretty insane. We have the Slim Jim from Golden Hound Industries, or Golden Hound House, which has the 57mm, but it's also a very thin design, which is just something a bit different. And then we have the Nimble, which, if I remember correct, is very nimble. If you want to see the stats for these ships, just make sure to jump into the stream. As I said, they're all detailed in there. We go over all of them, and they are all timestamped. So you just want to look at something in particular. If you're like judging between two ships, you can do that. All I'm going to do now is I want to quickly jump into Highfleet to show you the cabin. We'll do that really quickly. I've actually got it ready to go here. So this is the cabin here. It's a 423 km/h light courageous rebuild. It's got an AK-100 with full visibility, and it also has 2 zeniths built into the superstructure as well. It's another example of a nice light ship. There seems to be a very strong theme of 1 AK-100, 2 zeniths among the submissions, and this is just another great example of it. So voting is open. Go crazy. I'm going to leave voting open until, what is today's date? I should have checked that before we recorded, but I'm very slapdash. So today is the 10th. I'm going to leave recording open until the end of the 14th. Not recording. Voting is open until the end of the 14th. So just be aware of that. Voting will close on the 14th, but we will get more votings going during the week. Ballistic is next, and I also need to stream some more ships tomorrow night. Thank you so much for watching. Please get your votes in. I'm really excited to see which one wins. And remember, we're going to a second round of voting with the Courageouses because we had so many submissions. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.